Hello. This is my first YouTube video, and I have to be honest, this is not the first time I'm trying a YouTube video. I've actually had saved a few videos in the editing file somewhere along the way, and I've never published them. So this is a new try. So, hello, this is me, and I'm very glad to share today my story because I did not become a tarot reader just like this, as most probably don't. And in case you don't know what tarot cards are, it's these beauties, physical card decks, a lot of them available out there. But about that, I'm going to tell more what are tarot cards in the next videos. So let me tell you my journey of becoming a tarot card reader. I am officially registered tarot card reader in the Netherlands, so I'm even paying taxes on doing this work. And at the same time, I also am a professional tarot card reader. This is my profession. So it's completely unusual, probably for many people, to hear that this can be a profession, which one of my teachers and a great friend has said that's one of the old professions in many ways. So I'm here. Looking at my journey, how I became this tarot reading goddess, it did not come in one day. I actually come from a place where my grandma had a huge issue with tarot cards, and I got to be the one that kind of has broken that pattern in the family. I want to get more into it in details. I hope you are up for this journey with me. So, my grandma, when she was quite a bit younger, so it's the 19th century in Latvia, because that's where I come from, and tarot cards had become quite popular. So, she, with the regular playing cards, was doing divination with tarot cards. And she predicted somebody's death, and they actually died in about 2 weeks of the time of the prediction. So she has a huge, huge trauma from it. And when I was a kid, of course, that was a long time after that moment, but she still had that huge trauma. So we as kids, me and my sisters, we were actually not allowed to play with regular cards so much because she could even sense and feel the whole traumatic experience when we were using that and just playing just dumb card games. So that's where I came from the idea that it's something bad, that it's something, influensive, that can do something bad to other people, that it can make somebody feel as bad as my grandma was feeling, have so much trauma. And of course, I didn't want to do anything with that for a long time. But me being the rebel that I naturally am, at some point in my life, I have started to, going through all of these beautiful beliefs, and one by one, they were shattered, including this one. So, fast forward, I'm in my 20s, actually 25 plus, I think maybe 24 plus, where one of my friends turns out to be a tarot card reader, and I had no idea, but I saw that her life is okay. She's happy, she's fine. She was also an astrologer and really talented and smart woman. And I saw, oh, maybe the tarot cards are not so bad. Her life looks okay. She's not predicting death, like very simple, stupid solutions. But then again, hey, I made that believe as a kid that it's bad, right? So fast forward, I have relationship issues. So what do I decide to do? I, of course, go to her to get some good advice from astrology and tarot cards. And when she was putting them out for the first time in front of me, she just talked about them so, like, it felt like she knew them. Like she was talking, for example, about the magician, and she's like, oh, the magician is this and that, and I was like, wow, it feels like she just knows them. It's like she's talking about a dear friend or something, like this is the magician. And like she feels them in such a way, and it just seemed so nice and interesting. And also the cards, they were just so stunningly beautiful in my opinion. It was a different deck than this one, but like I was just mesmerized, and the information she could tell just by looking at some sort of a card, it just knowing so much, it really captured me. So I kept on going for consultations from time to time. And I opened up this new idea that, oh, it can be something good and helpful in one's life, as it was helpful for me and my love life learning lessons. And then fast forward into future again, where I realized that I'm really intrigued by these tarot cards, so I could actually be open to learn them at some point. And somehow I knew that this friend was not teaching them, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until she does, and then I'm gonna probably do it. But then I see an ad where a different girl is teaching these tarot cards, and I was like, oh, I actually know this girl. I have seen her around, and I have always been interested in her energy. So maybe let me just go to the thing and apply and try it. And I did, and I never came back from the love of tarot and mysticism. So yeah, I went and tried this first session. I actually unknowingly started the Fool's Journey. Well, it was explained. It's just I had no idea what it is, and you also might not know what it is. But in future, I will tell you what it is. But yeah, I started this Fool's Journey. There's a card Fool, and it goes on a journey. So I started it. And now I realize it's one of the most powerful ways, in my opinion, how to learn tarot cards, because you're not just learning the symbolism and just the, visual interpretation or like whatever is written in the book. You're actually going a bit further. You're kind of living with the cards. One day I also will make a course around it because I love that journey. Either way, doing that sort of a thing, I also learn the cards and live with them on a deeper level. So I became super acquainted, and during this process of being in these group sessions, and we were training all the time to read to one another and express how our journey is going, how we feel the cards and all the archetypes and blah blah blah. And somehow during that course, at the end of it, I would say my tarot teacher, my first tarot teacher, she was like, hey, would you like to do a tarot reading for me? And I was like, whoa. She, like, a private one, not with the group. And I was like, whoa, okay. I mean, I can try. So I did. And ended up being like 3 hour plus just flow of things. And it was amazing. I really loved it. And she also got so much good information and valued it so much that I was like, wow, this is cool. And in the end, it became that my first ever paying client was her, which was my first tarot teacher. So for me, it was such a big inner knowing that, hey, I can actually do this. Like I'm actually good at this. It's like it just flows so easy for me. And like that gave me a lot of confidence and trust that I could, continue to read tarot cards for other people, which I did mostly as a hobby for quite a few years. And I also learned tarot cards from 2 more teachers so far. And believe me, I'm going to do more. If you're listening to this video not into 2022, you probably will listen to a different version later where I have learned way more because I love learning. So this moment when I started to learn tarot cards is now almost 5 years ago. 4 years and I don't know, 7 something months ago when I started this very active journey. And since then I have been reading tarot cards very, very actively all the time, and also gotten clients first as a hobby thing. But in the recent 2 years, I have also developed myself in many ways and started to live more and more in my purpose. And that made me realize that it is very much so connected at this moment in time with tarot cards and their mysteries and teaching them. So that's why I'm here. That's why I decided to also do this channel, because I know how high of a value just by giving you this information for free can be to you and your own personal growth, because that's very close to how I approach tarot cards. For me, they are all about self-growth. And in case you want to understand more, just follow me, because I'm going to explain it a lot, probably. Like that's one of my favorite topics to talk about when it comes to tarot cards. And also, if you want to know specific tarot cards and their meanings, you can always take my courses, but at the same time, probably I'm going to share some information for free here as well. I always suggest different ways of learning tarot cards, and one of them is for sure just practice as much as you can. And that's why I love my courses, because I teach so much practice together with my students, where I'm practicing together with them, and they get this beautiful exchange of information from me and from the level that they're at, and they get to grow so expansively and so fast in this knowledge. Also, when you are listening to information from somebody who knows tarot cards as good as I do and who's still expansively learning them, you're going to get way more information out of it than if you're just looking at a book, which is also an option to learn tarot cards. But let me tell you all about that in some other videos, okay? So for now, if you want to know more about my tarot journey and want to understand more how it became my full-on profession, how is it even official, and this and that, you can comment below, and I will maybe make a video one day if enough of you want it. If it's a big crowd that is interested, I might do it. And in the meantime, let me know if there are any other spiritual topics that you're curious to learn from me, because the tarot road has been very short compared to my spiritual growth road, which has been way more years than just the tarot one. And thus, I do feel that it's also quite connected to my, my spiritual growth, and my tarot mystery knowledge is very connected, because I got to develop myself quite early on, and I continue to do so. That's just my life. That's my lifestyle, to live as spiritually and happy as possible. And from all of this information, I hope you get exactly what you need, because that's always my purpose with videos like this. Just take the snippets that are, connecting to you right now, because that's how the energy exchange can happen the best. Okay, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for always learning and always growing. That's the best we can do. Okay, Tarot Mysteries, everything for your blissful growth. Ciao.